All right, and the one, the one that Connor's been waiting for. Chance has been talking to us about how we need to really look at this game, and I feel like we've been pretty fair looking at this game. But Chance thinks we're underselling this team a bit, so I'm very curious how we're going to look at this game. But ASU going into Utah, it's a big rivalry game. This is basically like a Big 12 playoff game for both these teams. If Utah loses, they basically have no shot, and if ASU loses, they might have a shot, but they'll probably need a little bit of help. So, how are we looking, guys? Let's look at our resident ASU fanatic.
Oh, you want me to start? Okay, I was going to bump it over to Chance.
Oh.
The three of us argued well into the night about this matchup, especially after watching Texas Tech dismantle Houston. ASU obviously on a bye week. ASU is going to come into this game very healthy. It's a late night game. I mean, I think kickoff is 8:15 Mountain Time. So, I mean, it's late night. Rice-Eccles Stadium, no matter how bad Utah might be, and I'm not even saying they're bad this year, Chance, calm down. No matter how bad Utah is on any given year, this is always a difficult place to play, and it's way more difficult at night. I think Kenny Dillingham said that they're in the last 20 years or something, they've got a 92% win rate at night or something like that. Just a crazy high win rate for night games in this stadium. Utah definitely feels the make or break. ASU appears to me right now that they are playing at the level of the second best team in the Big 12, second to Texas Tech. It is going to take everything that they have to win this game. But that being said, it has taken everything that ASU has had to win every game that they've won this year. They look so much better than against Mississippi State. And other teams that they've beaten have continued to win, albeit by varying margins of victory. This ASU also recognizes that their margin for error is very thin. Chase, you're entirely correct. This is a big time matchup that could have massive postseason implications for the entire conference. If ASU plays to their potential, yeah, they'll win. Utah, we've talked about it before, no downfield threat. Now, they make up for it a little bit on offense by having Dampier, who can use his legs like crazy, but are we really going to get in a measuring contest of who's got better legs between Sam Leavitt and Dampier? At best, I'd say they're equal. Sam Leavitt's legs are elite, and I do feel comfortable saying that. He is an elite dual threat quarterback in this league. The biggest question mark throughout the season for him is, can his arm match his legs, given that he is a quarterback? Against Baylor, he looked a lot better. And against TCU, honestly, he looked freaking fantastic. I wouldn't say I still don't think he's living up to the Heisman talk that they had about him earlier in the year, but few are. But I think that he is vastly improved. Utah's got a tough defense. That ASU's line has to step up. But honestly, ASU's line has only seemed to struggle against pass defense, and their running attack has been just fine. They've got an excellent three-headed rushing attack. Raleek Brown seems to be separating himself more every week. That dude, he's not Scadaboo, but literally nobody is. But he's probably I think he's definitely faster than Scadaboo. He might be shiftier. The thing that Scadaboo did was he would just run straight through people. His ability to make people miss, or Raleek Brown's ability to make people miss, is way better than Cam Scadaboo's. Scadaboo is good at what he does because he leaves a trail of bodies in his wake on every run, not because he's particularly shifty. He is shifty, but not an elite level. Raleek Brown, though, dude just gets out of stuff. He will make you miss before you've even tried to hit him. And yeah, ASU's defense, and especially the secondary, stepped way up. And the one thing that Utah does really well is their running game. And the thing that ASU does best is defending against the run. So this game's going to be won in the trenches. If they can keep Utah's passing attack completely shut down, I do think that ASU's running attack is better, and I think ASU's passing attack is better. And so I think that they can come out, but man, is it going to be an entertaining game. And it is tough.
Chance.
You waiting for me? All right.
Have at it.
I feel like it balances out
that's
having
a great
you follow him.
analysis. I mean, this is going to be a great game, and both teams, as we said, have a lot on the line. I mean, almost to say it's the entire postseason on the line right now. I don't think either have a shot really at the playoffs. Maybe an outside shot for ASU if they lose. So it's a must-win game for both of them. And they're both going to come in at their best because, yes, ASU had a bye, but so did Utah, by the way. It's a night game at Utah. It's a little bit different there. Night games are tough. You got altitude. You got a lot of different things. The way ASU started this season, I really had my doubts. And I still have some of them, but they've shown to improve so much. I mean, they were barely beating Northern Arizona, Texas State. I mean, they should be blowing out those teams, and they weren't. And they still haven't blown out a team, but the last two wins have been really impressive, albeit close. But they've been really impressive in TCU and Baylor back to back. So they've regained some of my trust, whereas earlier in the season, I had lost it all. I thought this is an overhyped team. The matchup is really interesting because there's a lot of things going both ways. And you're right. I think I did teach you guys, and you guys looked out for it. Utah has no deep threats, and it's their problem. In the preseason, before the fall camp, they saw it themselves, and they were so worried. They recruited 3 defensive players to play two-way, which has gone okay for them, but that's never a good sign when you don't have a good enough offense that you're desperately trying to find someone on defense to play for you. Not great. Dampier's been okay this season, but there's still a lot to prove. And ASU does have some athleticism to keep him contained. Here's some of the things to look for, though. Do you guys know the name of John Henry Daly? You know who that is?
You're not talking about John Daly, the golfer, I'm assuming.
No. I'm
Okay.
talking about he has the 3rd most sacks in the nation. That guy. 6.5 sacks. You know who really sucks at protecting their quarterback?
Arizona State.
Arizona State. That guy's going to have a field day. Then you've got a really, really good potentially all Big 12 linebacker in Lander Barton. He's got experience. He's going to spy, and he's going to make sure that, or attempt to make sure that Sam Levitt doesn't leave the pocket. So, and then you've got Jordan Tyson, who's a big threat. You're going to just hope and pray that Smith Snowden, a talented corner, can contain him. So I don't expect this to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be a slugfest. It's going to be who can make the least amount of mistakes. Is it going to be Levitt? Is it going to be Dampier? I don't know. I'm already committed to Utah. I think they're at home. I think they edge this one.
You kind of have to. You have a hot take.
Yes, I already committed a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was when Arizona State wasn't looking as good as they are now.
That's the thing about the season. The season is long, and you never know if a team's going to start figuring some stuff out. That's why, I mean, we're talking a lot of shit about some teams that could turn it around. You never know. You made a lot of good points about Utah, especially our offensive line and those linebackers. They very well could eat against that offensive line for sure. I do think that Sam Levitt has the legs and the awareness to get away from some of those sacks. So I don't think they're going to have a game kind of like Oklahoma had where you're having like 11 sacks or 7 sacks. Because if they did that, then I think Utah could easily win the game because Levitt would be absolutely on edge the whole time. But at the same time, on the other side of things, ASU's defense, while they might not have these top of the line guys that you think are going really early in the NFL draft, they've been making plays in the clutch. Like there was in that TCU game, they had 2 sacks on the last couple drives. They had the pick in in the last drive, like they make plays in the third and fourth quarter, especially. They make shit happen. They've been there before and they want to do it again. So I believe in this ASU defense to make plays on Dampier the same way that you believe Utah's defense is going to do it on Sam Levitt. And then in the comparison of Levitt versus Dampier, if we were going off the first weeks, I would have probably given you that Dampier looks better. But in that last game against TCU and even a couple flashes in that Baylor game, Levitt looked to have some arm talent there. He looked like the guy that we wanted to see all year, but weren't. And I think he's ready. This is a test. I was never looking through this game towards Texas Tech. I just said that is the biggest threat to them. But this game, if you can't get through this game, then I won't have any hope for next week, even though it's at home. I think that ASU has the better team right now, but ASU is wishy-washy, flippy-floppy on some of these games. So they've disappointed me before, and it scares me to pick with Connor in these games because you know how he is. But another thing with that ASU defense is they have been performing really well against the run, and if that is Utah's only chance at getting down the field is their run game and maybe some scrambling, I don't believe in their offense to make plays. So they held while Mississippi State, I feel, leaned a little bit more towards the passing game against ASU. That they had two rushers at about 30 yards against ASU and they got 66 yards because of they took a knee and lost a couple yards at the end of the game. So about 70 yards in that game. Then a few weeks later, Mississippi State played Tennessee in that same stadium, and we're running through them constantly. And so Tennessee has a good defense, and they played really well against Georgia too. So that I feel like that says something about ASU's defense as a whole. Their rush defense, their pass defense when they're not rushing on a stupid play, and their clutch moments in at least Big 12 play. Maybe not against SEC teams for some reason, but I believe in this ASU team for this week. Don't let me down. Don't let me down.
Fun fact about the TCU versus ASU game 2 weeks ago. TCU had only one more yard in the fourth quarter than turnovers. TCU in the fourth quarter had 3 offensive yards in the entire quarter, and they had 2 turnovers. So ASU's defense. Now, Josh Hoover has shown himself to not have a lot of poise, but that isn't all on Josh Hoover not having poise. So I'm very excited for it. Hopefully I will not be hospitalized after that game, and I'll actually be able to make it back to the podcast and still have all of my powers of speech after this one.
I'll take care of you, Connor.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm going to be in Phoenix this weekend, so Chase and I are going to watch this one together, and he can scoop me up off the ground as he has so many times over the years. Now,